Hi, my name is John Kozinski, and I'm going to be talking about emotions beyond diet and lifestyle. In another film, which you can see, I talk about the importance of diet and lifestyle and emotions and how it creates emotions. In fact, when I work with people over the years who have emotional issues or problems or even serious emotional issues like clinical depression, I always recommend they first take care of their diet and lifestyle. After diet and lifestyle, and sometimes before, there's another issue that has to be addressed, and this is something that I first learned about in the Eastern tradition. In the Eastern meditation tradition, they talk about how life is an illusion and that we create our life around us by how we see things. The only thing about that is that they didn't go into much detail beyond that, how we deal with the illusion that we create and how we basically handle the fact that we are creating the world around us as we see. But a few years ago, I came across the work of a man named Sid Banks, who had an interesting take on this. Sid Banks was a Scottish welder who, close to 40 years ago, had an enlightenment experience. In the enlightenment experience, he saw things that people have talked about in all cultures around the world, but in a very contemporary way. That we have three aspects of our being, which basically are consciousness and thought and awareness. And in this teaching, he came across, when he taught certain psychologists, they founded a new type of psychology, which is supposedly the only psychology of the past 300 types of psychologies that is not based on looking at the past. It's based on being in the present. And that psychology is a way that we can understand emotions beyond thought, not thought, but beyond diet and lifestyle. In that basically thoughts generate emotions. You can't generate emotion without a thought. And you can't keep the same thought in your head. It's impossible. So what you have to do is have another thought that's about the last thought you have to generate the same emotion. And in this philosophy and psychology, the idea is that basically you can get in touch with the fact if you can break the habit of thought, because there's habitual thinking, then you could get away from generating the stress from emotions and habitual thinking. But you have to have a pause in that, because our habits are so ingrained that you don't realize that you're thinking a certain way that's generating an emotion that's disturbing you. So you have to have a hesitation in this. Now, in my experience as a health counselor and teacher, it's easier if your diet and lifestyle is sound to take control of that thought. You don't have to stop it. You just have to realize you're having it. And in this teaching also, Sid Banks said a very amazing thing, that mental well-being is our default state. It's the default state of our awareness, to be in mental well-being and happiness. So sometimes we have to understand some of our myths. One of the greatest myths that we generate our emotions is that I'm happy when I have other things around me, when I have the right circumstance, the right person, the right livelihood, the right amount of money. This is one of the biggest myths. Or the other second related to this is I shouldn't be happy under certain circumstance. Like if I'm sick, I should be very unhappy, especially if I'm terribly sick. Or if someone is treating me badly, I should be very unhappy. But these are myths that we can overcome and become aware that we are thinking this way. And there's much more to this topic. It's a huge topic, but this can give you a little bit of an introduction to the idea that there is emotional issues that we could address, and we could deal with our emotions beyond diet and lifestyle by awareness and the understanding of the process of how we generate emotions.